In this video, I'm going to be talking about why I believe backtesting could be holding you back. Now, firstly, I do actually want to stress the importance of backtesting your edge for these 3 reasons. Number 1 is by actually learning the edge, by practicing it over and over again. The more you practice, the more it will become subconscious and therefore be easier to apply and adopt into a live market. You've perhaps heard of practice makes perfect. Well, in my opinion, perfect practice makes perfect, and it takes time to get to that perfection, to jump through those sequence of hoops and events in your edge to get to the end result as close as possible with minimizing mistake where you can. Number 1 is to actually learn the edge. The more you practice your edge, the more subconscious it will be when you apply it to a live market. Number 2 is to collect data over a large enough sample size so you have some data to go off of as an indication for potential future results. And the third and final benefit I believe that backtesting is good for is to build that confidence, that inner self-belief that the edge works and that you can trade that edge without fear or hesitation when it comes to a live market as much as possible. However, I do believe there are 2 reasons why backtesting could be holding your trading back. Now, firstly, I believe this is something that most traders fall into the bracket of. And that's saying they're going to go and backtest a strategy, but actually trying to cut corners and trying to go from learning the strategy to live trading the strategy as quickly as humanly possible because they want to speed up the process. They are really impatient. They just want to make money. And that shortcut is always going to set up to fail. You have to put the time in. You have to take a series of months, at least in my opinion, 2 to 3 months to really test a strategy to gain that data sample. You've also got to factor in what else do you do with your time? Can you really backtest 2-3 hours a day, or realistically are you backtesting 1 month over 1 hour and doing that 5 times a week? So you're getting through not even half a year in 1 week, and that's your first round. You need to be able to go over the same sample size multiple times in order to spot mistakes that you missed the first time around. And as well, remember, if you are learning a new strategy or a new refinement, you are going to make mistakes. You're going to see oversights. Even I do it myself when I backtest 1 month for 1 hour and I go back over it, or sometimes someone will spot something and say, you held through a high impact news event here, or sometimes someone else will say, thanks for sharing your data, but there was maybe a mistake in here, and it's something that you didn't spot yourself, but someone else did. Now, firstly, most traders fall into this bracket where they're learning a strategy and they're told to backtest for the reasons I stated above, to build confidence, to actually learn the edge, and to collect data, but they're so focused on making money to prove themselves right and prove others wrong that they skip that backtesting process, or they speed it up too fast just to jump into a live market, which is not going to serve them because they haven't mentally prepared themselves for that strategy. They haven't learned it correctly. It's going to take some time. Even consciously, you're going to make mistakes. After 1 or 2 months of learning and backtesting and collecting data, most of that edge is going to be subconscious, but you're still going to be making some mistakes. So the longer you can give yourself to practice, the better you're going to be in a live market. By rushing the process, it's going to form nothing but bad habits. It's going to increase the amount of trading emotions you'll be dealing with, and it's of course going to give you a misinterpretation of real life results. And your live trading results, if you're rushing it, are clearly not going to be an accurate representation of your edge. What would this lead to? Poor emotions, the blame culture, or strategy hopping. Just one key important component of your trading is the technicals. The rest of it is psychology, and that psychology is such a broad term. There's so many layers and elements to it. And the second part of traders that I believe will fall into this bracket is those that do actually thoroughly backtest their edge, and they do collect a great deal of data on that edge. They're either crippled by the amount of data they're collecting, they go too deep, don't actually have the confidence to go and apply it to the live market, or they put their backtesting results on a pedestal and expect future results to be an exact representation of previous data. No technical edge out there can have historic data that can guarantee future results. We must instead use this data as framework for our edge to apply on the live market. But understanding that historic data is not going to guarantee future results. For example, April this year is not going to guarantee the same exact results as April last year or April the year before that. And what holds these traders back is the reliance on the historic data, which will subconsciously give a false hope of expectancy. That, for example, just because that edge over a 2-year data sample produced on average a 50% win rate with a 5% monthly gain, that it's going to produce 5% this month and 5% next month with a 50% win rate. Ultimately, no backtesting system can truly mimic real live conditions. And we must understand that backtesting and live trading are two completely different machines. Now, backtesting is really important, don't get me wrong. However, there must be a correct perspective a trader must come from to accept and own the fact that you are not going to take every single trade in a live market situation just as you would if you were backtesting. Remember, your emotions are at play. You've got fear to pull the trigger when the time is upon you to place that order, or the fear or cancelling an order too soon when it's running in profit for fear that you'll give that back and take a loss or a break even at best. Some traders, or sometimes you may even succumb to greed, where you're in a winning position, everything is ticking all the boxes, price action is very close to your TP, but then you decide to delete the TP or scale it up thinking it's now going to take the daily highs, only to see price then reverse overnight and come back again for a loss or at best break even when that would have been a winning trade. Would you have behaved that way in a backtesting scenario? Probably not. Price moves a lot slower, you have external factors at play, you're not always at the screen, and you have to contend with these continuous thought processes and emotions. And then we have that thing called drawdown that some traders talk about, but a lot don't. Every trader goes through drawdown at some point. The key factor here is to not put drawdown on a pedestal, just like you wouldn't put one singular funding challenge or live account on a pedestal. Accounts can be easily replaced as long as you're not over leveraging and over risking your own money and trading away your life savings. Take this for example, over a 1 year period with 5 to 6 months of drawdown or no result, know that within a 1 year period, you can still average 3% profit per month while still not making any money or being in a sequence of drawdown for almost 6 months of that entire year. It's the bigger picture that's important here. A lot of professional traders make most of their profits in just a handful of months throughout the year. Know that it's the social media pressures that have determined that you must make profit every single week and every single month of the year in order for you to be defined as a consistently profitable trader. That is all wrong. You just need to increase your time horizon and know that every 6 or 12-month period, have you made money or not? Just like running a typical business. For example, you might have a few months where your expenses are higher and your income is lower, so you make less or no profit. Does that mean that you're going to throw in the towel after 2 or 3 months and close your doors and go start a new business? No, you would typically have a 3 to 5 year business plan and cash flow forecast. You would look at the larger perspective and expand your time horizon. You must be doing the same thing in your trading. Treat trading as a business and leave emotion and ego at the door. And the final piece I want to leave you with is how your own personal life and your other external forces at play can impact your trading results. And the final thing to note while backtesting is, are you factoring in real life scenarios which you don't actually know are going to occur? For example, for me last month, February 2024, I left an additional 6% profit on the table. One was something that was out of my control and the other thing that was. Would I have done these things in a backtesting scenario? No, I wouldn't, because the first one was 3% profit on a winning trade that I didn't take because I was lying in bed sick all day. So I didn't take that trade, wasn't even aware it was a trade until the end of day. The second one was a 3% winning trade that I closed for break even on a Friday afternoon because I decided on that moment that I didn't want to hold that trade over the weekend. Do I close weekend trades in a backtesting scenario? No, I don't. But I just decided on that Friday afternoon, you know what? I'm happy to take a break even here, and then I'll come back fresh on Monday, knowing that Monday, Tuesday, if I'd held that trade, that would have been another 3%. So that's 6% difference in 1 month versus backtesting it and being 6% higher than I am in a live market situation. So you've got to factor in that in a live market, there are things that happen that are either in your control or out of your control that are going to impact your real life trading results. I'd like to know your backtesting thoughts on how it can hold you back and how it can improve your game as a trader. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you took value, and before you leave, for your chance to win a 1 month free Evolution Markets mentorship with me and a £25,000 funding challenge with Top Funder, all you need to do is to comment below your biggest key takeaway from this video, and a winner will be picked at random. Good luck, and I'll see you on the next one.